In this video, I'm going to walk you through how you can get the Skeleton UI library for Svelte working inside of Electron. So if you haven't heard of Skeleton UI, I would say it is a rising star as far as UI libraries are concerned. It's very powerful. There are a lot of accessible components that are in here, and you find you'll just have a very beautiful user interface that you can use. So right here, what you're seeing is an instance of Electron that loads Skeleton UI. So I'm going to show you how you can do this right from scratch. And anytime you like, for some of the code examples, just simply pause the video and then add that code accordingly. At some point, what I might do is create a project in GitHub that'll show some of the pages that are available to you. Okay, so here we've got the Skeleton UI homepage here. We're just going to go to Get Started. And what we're going to do is pretty much follow the steps for the Skeleton CLI. So we want to start with this first, not with an Electron project. We're going to add Electron and other dependencies later. So in here, I'm just going to start from scratch. And just copy this code here. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll use the app shell starter. And I'll just use the default theme. You just have to press the space bar to select it and then enter to execute. And I'll add all of these additional packages here, except for maybe code block. We should add TypeScript syntax here. And we can add ESLint and prettier if we want. Okay, now it shows that it's done. And so really important, we do want to CD into our new app. So I'll just use Okay, we want npm install. Okay, now we've installed those dependencies. Now just to double check to make sure that Svelte is running and Skeleton UI, I'm just going to do npm run dev. And so we're going to use this URL here. And we should be able to run Svelte or Skeleton accordingly. There we go. Okay. Next step is to get this working in Electron. One important thing I should mention is that I can't give credit to myself for figuring this out. There's actually another project created called Svelte Electron. So I use this as pretty much my source of inspiration for creating this video here. All right, so now we're going to end this here. Okay, and now we need to install key dependencies here. Well, let's just double check, just make sure we haven't forgotten anything in our steps. Okay, we should be good here using the CLI. Now I'm going to take some code that I've got here for dependencies. Okay, so it's important to have this -D flag here to install the dev dependencies. We got Electron and some other Electron specific dependencies to install. You need to use concurrently as well as cross environment. Okay, and we're done adding those dependencies. And so now we have to go into our project. So what I'm going to do is open up Visual Studio Code. Okay, and you can see we've got our project here. We've got to make some changes. Okay, so we have to add 2 new files here into our source. So I'm going to add one called electron.cjs rather. And we're going to add another one called preload.cjs. Okay. Now I'll show you the code that'll go into each of these files. Okay. So here we want to make sure we've got our Electron Windows state dependency used here. We're going to require Electron. We're also going to use Electron serve to help serve Electron to a certain URL. Also use path, the reloader. And in here we'll load a window of 800 by 600. Make some changes to the window itself. Some key settings under web preferences here. So we're going to include enabling the remote module, context isolation, node integration as well. Include dev tools, so that's important to use while you're building your app. A key change here as well is making sure that we reference our preloader file, because this will allow the inter-process communication. Okay. Here we're loading our Vite, which essentially brings in our Svelte application. So we load it at this particular URL here. Okay. Now we're going to populate preload. Okay. So now here we have our context bridge that we're bringing in to allow the communication between our Svelte application and Electron. Okay, so we'll save these. Next, what we need to do is update our package JSON. Otherwise, this won't work. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a main here, a main entry to allow Electron to run. And then we're going to also update the scripts. Okay. So I'll just replace scripts here with the main entry and scripts. So you'll see right now it'll look for the electron.cjs file within the source folder, and then it'll load all of these scripts when appropriate. Okay, so we'll save that one as well. Okay, we're going to go back to our console here. We're going to enter npm run dev. And just give it a moment, it'll load the app. And there you go. It's actually loading Skeleton library right here within Electron. Now, the load time is a little bit slow, and so there's some additional options that are available to change how Electron loads. So if there are some ideas from folks in the community on how to make that experience better for the user, feel free to add in the comments, and then make an adjustment or perhaps a follow-up video on how to do that. Thank you for watching.